What if I told you that all of the pain, the struggles, and the battles you're facing right now have not gone unnoticed? What if the victory you've been yearning for is closer than you think? You see, God sees your struggle, and He is preparing a victory just for you. And if you're willing to listen, if you're open to receiving this message, I believe you'll walk away from this video feeling something you might have forgotten: hope. This isn't just another video. This could be the lifeline you didn't know you needed, the turning point you've been waiting for. Trust me, this isn't a coincidence. You're here for a reason, so let's get right into it. Because once you understand how God sees your struggle and prepares victory for you, everything will change. Are you ready to transform your perspective and step into a new season of hope? Let's dive in, and let's start with this: God's awareness of every part of your life, even the parts you keep hidden. When we go through struggles, it's easy to feel isolated, like no one truly understands what we're facing. But here's the truth: God is watching over you, fully aware of every struggle you face. Nothing is hidden from Him, not a single detail. He sees beyond the surface, beyond what others perceive. He sees the moments you're alone, the battles you fight in silence, and the burdens you carry that no one else understands. Psalm 139:1-3 tells us, "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You are familiar with all my ways." This is a profound truth. God is not distant or detached. He is intimately involved, watching over every part of your life. Consider the story of Hagar in Genesis 16. Hagar found herself abandoned and alone in the wilderness, filled with despair. But in that moment, an angel of the Lord appeared, offering her comfort and assurance. She named God El Roi, which means the God who sees me. Hagar discovered that even in her lowest moment, God was aware of her pain. She wasn't invisible to Him, and neither are you. Your struggles are not insignificant to God. He sees the challenges you face, and He doesn't just observe from afar. He cares deeply. God's awareness of your struggle comes with a promise of action. He's not watching passively. In His timing, He will bring resolution, healing, and victory. Knowing this, you can trust that your struggles are seen and your prayers are heard. God's attention isn't fleeting. It's constant and committed. Keep listening, because understanding God's awareness is just the beginning. There's a purpose to everything you're going through. Why do we face struggles? Why does a loving God allow us to endure pain? It's a question we've all asked, especially when life feels overwhelming. But let's look at this from a different perspective. What if struggles are not obstacles, but stepping stones? What if they're part of a grander design that serves to refine you, to strengthen your faith, and to build your character in ways comfort never could? James 1:2-4 tells us, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." This isn't about dismissing pain. It's about understanding that trials serve a purpose. Just as fire refines gold, struggles purify your spirit, burning away what's unnecessary and revealing something stronger and more resilient. Each struggle you face is like a chisel in the hands of a master sculptor, shaping you into the person God knows you can be. Think about Job, a man who lost everything: his family, his health, his wealth. Yet through his suffering, Job discovered a deeper understanding of God's wisdom and grace. His struggles were not meaningless. They were transformative. Your struggles, too, are not random. They are purposeful, designed by a God who knows exactly what you need to grow. Every hardship is a lesson, every trial a step closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Hold on, because what's coming next will fill you with the hope you need to endure these trials with courage and faith. When life feels like it's pulling you under, God's promises are your anchor. He has given us His word, promising to be with us through every storm, every challenge, every dark night of the soul. In Isaiah 41:10, God reassures us, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." This is God saying, "I see you. I'm right here beside you, and I'm not letting go." The Bible is filled with promises for those who are struggling. Psalm 34:17-18 tells us, "The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." These words are not just ancient poetry. They are God's personal assurance to you. He is close to you in your pain, near to you when you feel broken, and ready to lift you up. These promises are more than just words. They're an unbreakable bond between you and God. They're a lifeline, reminding you that no matter how dark the road ahead seems, God is with you every step of the way. Let these promises sink deep into your heart. They are your shield against fear, your comfort in suffering, and your assurance that God will see you through. And as we move forward, we'll explore how to cling to faith even when the outcome is uncertain. Because faith, my friend, is the key to unlocking God's promises. Faith is your greatest ally in times of struggle. It's what keeps you standing when everything around you is falling apart. Hebrews 11:1 tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This means that faith isn't about what you can see with your eyes. It's about trusting in what you know to be true in your heart. That God is with you, working behind the scenes, even when nothing seems to be going right. Consider the story of Abraham, who was promised a son despite his old age. Abraham waited for years, clinging to God's promise, and his faith never wavered. This faith eventually led him to become the father of many nations. Faith is not a passive waiting game. It's an active choice to believe in God's promises, to hold on to hope, and to move forward with courage, even when every instinct tells you to give up. Perseverance and faith go hand in hand. Perseverance says, "I will keep going," while faith whispers, "God is with me." Together, they carry you through the darkest valleys and toughest battles. When you stand in faith, you declare that your circumstances do not define you. God's promises do. And that kind of faith has the power to move mountains. So when you feel weak, remember this. Every day you choose faith, you are one step closer to the victory God has promised. Keep listening, because the next step is all about connecting with God through prayer. Prayer is not just a spiritual habit. It's a powerful tool that connects you directly to God's strength, wisdom, and love. It's in prayer that you find the courage to face your struggles head on and the peace to rest in God's control. Philippians 4:6-7 encourages us with these words. "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." When you pray, you're not speaking into thin air. You're inviting God into your situation, laying down your burdens and opening your heart to His guidance. Through prayer, you're building a relationship with the one who holds the universe in His hands, and you don't have to have perfect words. God hears every cry, every whisper, and every word left unspoken. All he asks is that you come to him with a sincere heart, willing to receive his love, direction, and strength. Consistent, heartfelt prayer transforms you. It shifts your focus from your problems to the greatness of God, from your limitations to his boundless power. Prayer isn't just asking God for help. It's aligning your heart with his, seeking his wisdom, and trusting that he has a perfect plan. So make prayer your anchor, your daily lifeline. In the quiet moments of prayer, God will renew your strength and give you the clarity you need to face each day with courage and confidence. One of the hardest lessons in life is letting go of control. We all want to steer our own ship, to make our own way, and to believe that, with enough effort, we can conquer any challenge. But what if true victory comes only when we surrender control to God? Proverbs 3:5-6 tells us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. This verse is more than advice. It's an invitation to step out of the driver's seat and let God take over. Surrender isn't about weakness. It's about strength. It's about acknowledging that God's wisdom far surpasses our own, that his perspective is limitless while ours is so narrow. Think about it. God sees the beginning and the end, every twist and turn that lies ahead. When you surrender to him, you're not giving up. You're aligning yourself with the one who knows exactly what you need and exactly when you need it. Imagine the peace that comes when you lay down your burden of control and say, God, I trust you. I trust your timing, your ways, your plans for my life. Jesus himself exemplified surrender in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he prayed, "Not my will, but yours be done." Luke 22:42. Even in his darkest hour, Jesus chose to trust the Father's plan. If the Son of God could surrender, knowing that God's way was the only way to true victory, then surely we can do the same. When you surrender your struggles, you open the door for God to work miracles beyond your imagination. Let go and let God's boundless power flow into your life. His ways are higher, and his victory is closer than you think. We often get so focused on the big wins that we overlook the small, subtle victories along the way. But these little breakthroughs are just as crucial. They're God's reminders that he is actively working in your life. Zechariah 4:10 reminds us, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." Every small victory, every tiny step forward, is a piece of God's grand design. They're glimpses of his faithfulness, encouragements that he's walking with you, guiding you toward the ultimate victory. Think of small victories as stepping stones, each one a building block that strengthens your faith, grows your resilience, and prepares you for greater things. Maybe it's a moment of unexpected peace, a conversation that opens a door, or an inner breakthrough where you suddenly see things differently. These small wins are not accidents. They are the result of God's hand at work in your life, aligning circumstances and guiding you step by step. The beauty of acknowledging small victories is that it cultivates a heart of gratitude. When you thank God for the little wins, you draw closer to him, growing more aware of his presence in your life. It's like looking at a tapestry up close. You see the individual threads, but as you step back, you see the whole picture, each small thread weaving together into something beautiful. Each small victory is a thread in the masterpiece God is creating for you. So celebrate them, hold on to them, and let them build your confidence that the God who gives small victories will surely bring you to complete victory in his time. Nothing strengthens our faith like the stories of others who have overcome. When we hear about God's power at work in someone's life, it reminds us that He's just as capable of transforming ours. The Bible is filled with testimonies of God's miraculous interventions, stories that inspire us to believe that no situation is too far gone for Him to redeem. Take David, for example. He was just a young shepherd boy when he faced Goliath, a warrior of immense size and skill. Yet, David stood firm, declaring, "The battle is the Lord's." 1 Samuel 17:47. With just a stone and unwavering faith, David defeated the giant because he believed in God's power over any earthly strength. And these testimonies don't stop with the Bible. Today, countless believers share stories of healing, redemption, and victory through faith in God. From overcoming illness to breaking free from addiction, their lives are living testimonies of God's active presence in our world. These stories are not mere coincidences. They are evidence that God is still moving, still answering prayers, and still working miracles. Your struggle may seem overwhelming, but remember, if God did it for them, He can do it for you. When you hear these testimonies, let them ignite a fire within you. They're not just stories. They're seeds of hope, reminders that with God, nothing is impossible. Let them inspire you to stand strong in faith, to believe that your breakthrough is on the way. You are part of a larger story, one filled with victories past and present. And one day, your story will inspire someone else to keep going. Hold on to this hope, because God's power is timeless, limitless, and ready to work wonders in your life. One of the hardest things in life is to hold on to hope when victory feels like a distant dream. There are seasons where it feels like God's promises are out of reach, and every step forward seems to come with 2 steps back. But here's the truth. God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with ours. Isaiah 40:31 tells us, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Holding on to hope is a choice to trust in God's timing, to believe that He knows best, even when we can't see the bigger picture. Waiting is not wasted time when God is in control. Patience is a powerful form of faith because it requires us to let go of our desire for immediate answers and trust that God's delay is part of His divine design. Remember, a delay is not a denial. The story of Joseph is a perfect example. He spent years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, but in time, God elevated him to a position of power in Egypt. Joseph's story teaches us that God's timing is never late. It's perfectly aligned to fulfill His purpose in our lives. So, when victory feels far away, keep your hope alive. Every prayer, every act of faith, every moment of endurance is building toward the breakthrough God has prepared for you. God is not slow to fulfill His promises. He is preparing something beyond what you can imagine. When victory seems distant, choose hope, because God's timing is worth the wait. Trust that His plans are perfect and that His victory for you is worth every moment of patience. Victory is not just the end of a struggle. It's the beginning of a new chapter. When God brings you through, He doesn't do it just for you alone. He does it so you can become a living testimony, a beacon of hope for others. Matthew 5:16 encourages us, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." This means that your victory isn't meant to be hidden. It's meant to inspire, to encourage, and to remind others that with God, anything is possible. Living in victory means carrying a spirit of gratitude, using every opportunity to share what God has done for you. It's not about boasting. It's about pointing others to the source of your strength, the God who turned your trials into triumphs. Every time you share your story, you're sowing seeds of faith in someone else's life. You're showing them that their struggles, too, have a purpose and that their victory is also within reach. Think of your victory as a light that others can see. When people witness your transformation, your resilience, and your joy, they're seeing a reflection of God's goodness, and that's powerful. Testifying isn't just about words. It's about living in a way that radiates hope, faith, and gratitude. So embrace the victory God has given you and let it fuel your purpose. Your story of overcoming is a gift that can inspire others to believe in God's power, to trust in His timing, and to hold on to hope. Go forth boldly, living as a testament to God's faithfulness, and let your life be a living message of God's boundless love and strength. God sees your struggle, and He has a victory prepared just for you. Hold on to His promises, keep the faith, pray with intention, and trust His perfect timing. If this message has touched your heart, share it with someone who might need it. Spread hope, inspire faith, and let others know that they too can find victory through God. Remember, you're not alone. God is with you, guiding you, and preparing you for a breakthrough that will change everything. Live boldly in the victory He gives, and let your story become a beacon of His goodness. Amen. If you believe in God, then please like this video and leave a heartfelt. And in the comments, if you want to stay closer to God, subscribe to our channel